The moment this story dropped, you could practically feel the royal commentators vibrating with panic, and that is exactly why we need to talk about it today. Meghan walked into a New York brownstone for an interview and was introduced by her correct title, Duchess of Sussex. And within minutes, the critics acted like someone pulled the fire alarm in their group chats. It takes a special kind of obsession to fall apart over a simple introduction. But here we are, once again, watching the same characters recycle their outrage like it is their only survival strategy. So settle in, grab your snacks, because the drama that unfolded from this tiny, harmless moment is comedy gold and a window into how deeply these people depend on Meghan for their content, their relevance, and sometimes their rent. The scene itself could not have been more normal. Meghan arrived for her Harper's Bazaar feature, elegant as ever, calm as sunshine, stepping into a beautiful Upper East Side home that looked like the kind of place where even the furniture whispers expensive. The home manager greeted the journalist and politely introduced Meghan by her title. There was no trumpet, no fireworks, no dramatic pause. Just a professional introduction of a woman who holds a title that was given legitimately by the late Queen. That was it. The entire moment lasted seconds. But on the other side of the ocean and in certain corners of the internet, the reaction was so theatrical that it made Shakespeare look understated. You would think the critics would be glad Meghan is living her life quietly and peacefully. But no, they prefer chaos. And if chaos is not available, they invent it. The second they heard that Meghan was introduced correctly, you could practically see them rushing to their microphones like firefighters responding to an emergency. Their expressions were tight, their voices shaky, their talking points recycled. They were furious about something so small, so ordinary, so unremarkable, that the rest of us had to double-check to make sure we were all reading the same article. Their entire argument seemed to be built on nothing but exhaustion, envy, and Wi-Fi signals that probably deserve hazard pay. One commentator in particular decided that this was her moment to re-emerge from the shadows. Kinsey Schofield took the stage and declared that the line in the article should have been erased. Imagine the pettiness of wanting a woman's correct title deleted from reality because your feelings jumped out for a walk. According to her, Meghan's team should have insisted the writer remove the introduction entirely. Not edited, not clarified, completely removed. As if the title itself was the problem, not the years of bitter commentary that led her audience to expect outrage at all times. This is where the hypocrisy shines like a neon sign. These same people cheer every time other royals use their titles on official websites, charity launches and branded merchandise. They never complain when William uses Prince of Wales in business-related projects. They never blink when Kate is introduced as Princess of Wales during public appearances. Camilla uses Queen in every setting imaginable, and not one of these critics raises a single eyebrow. But when Meghan is introduced by the name she has every right to carry, suddenly protocol matters, tradition matters, and etiquette turns into a heated emergency meeting. Their real issue is that Meghan still commands global respect without bending to their storyline. She walked away from the institution that mistreated her and somehow emerged more relevant and more admired. They wanted her silent, erased and forgotten. Instead, she is booked, requested, chosen and celebrated. They wanted her dependent on palace briefings. Instead, she is independent and unbothered. They wanted her diminished. Instead, she is glowing. And nothing irritates them more than seeing her win without their approval. What makes this meltdown even funnier is the fact that Meghan was not the one introducing herself. She did not walk in and announce her title like a character in a period drama. She simply walked into a room, and her presence was acknowledged the way it should be. The critics know this, but they blame her anyway. In their world, rainstorms are Meghan's fault. Slow traffic is Meghan's fault. Headlines they do not like are Meghan's fault. Their dog barking at the mailman is probably Meghan's fault too. They need her as their scapegoat because without her their careers run out of gas. But fear not, an etiquette expert stepped in and cleared the fog. Micah Meyer explained calmly that there is absolutely nothing unusual, improper or controversial about introducing someone by a British title anywhere in the world. She confirmed that Meghan is widely recognised as Duchess of Sussex and that her staff was simply following standard etiquette. Her explanation brought the dramatic uproar crashing down like a Jenga tower stacked on a shaky table. The critics did not like that, of course, but when facts enter the chat, their opinions tend to dissolve quickly. Now, let us talk about why this uproar reveals something deeper. This was never about titles. It was about control. The British tabloids no longer have access to Meghan. They no longer get to distort her words or paint her as a caricature. They cannot dictate how she is presented or create narratives based on partial information. They lost the power they used to have when she was still inside the palace system. Not hiding. She is not shrinking. She is not begging for acceptance. She lives her life with calm confidence, and that confidence is their biggest fear. Every clap back, she did not release a statement or join the debate. Her silence was louder than the critics shouting into their microphones. Because when you are secure in yourself, you do not need to justify your existence to insecure people. Her work speaks, her presence speaks, her reputation speaks. And every time she moves forward, she proves that peace is the greatest comeback. Meanwhile, the backlash being circulated is not real. It is artificial outrage created to keep certain media personalities afloat. They depend on her name the way plants depend on sunlight. Real people do not care about this nonsense. Real people admire Meghan for her composure, her strength, her accomplishments, and her kindness. That is why major magazines continue to feature her. That is why global audiences continue to support her. That is why her critics cannot escape her shadow, even though they try so hard to pretend she is irrelevant. At the end of the day, what happened was simple. Meghan was introduced properly. Ordinary people saw it as ordinary and moved on. Critics turned it into a circus and embarrassed themselves. An expert came in and clarified the truth. Meghan kept it classy, elegant and completely unbothered. Life went on for everyone, except the ones who need her name to generate clicks. Before we end today, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel and help us grow. Tap that like button, drop a comment to boost the video, and if you would like to support the platform, you can send a super thanks or even buy me a coffee to keep this channel strong and independent. Your support means everything and helps me continue bringing you content that uplifts Harry and Meghan and keeps the truth flowing. Thank you, Sussex Squad family. I appreciate you, I value you, and I will see you in the next episode.